Good morning. Welcome to Walking Slowly Down Hills. Some more accounts of a walk I undertook down the Murray from source to mouth in 2015. This is an account of the 46th day. These accounts were written in the afternoon following the walk and their immediate responses to both what I was contemplating, the thoughts I had, various other issues that arise when you're walking alone along a river. 46th day. I'm walking along the A20 this morning a few feet from roaring trucks, buses, caravans in tow and B-doubles. It's such a change from the last few days when I walked endlessly through shady orange groves. Now I long to pick up an orange and hold it in my hand. But this is the national highway and big traffic flows endlessly through this route all the way to Sydney and beyond towards unknown destinations. I walk very close to the steel guardrails, jammed between their impassability and the roaring, whooshing vehicles whose wind wake each time almost lifts my backpack off my shoulders. I look over the other side of the guardrails, the side that usually falls sharply into wheat fields or vineyards, olive groves or scrubby sand. Here it's the latter, covered with detritus that's been jettisoned as cars and trucks stream by. I walk observing the land to my right for many kilometres. There's no visible break anywhere in the piles and piles of unnameable discarded objects, large and small. Shoes, shirts, bottles of various sizes and colour, takeaway food containers, shredded tyres, oil drums, coffee cups, bits of bumper bars, dead animals. Even the shrunken corpse of a once mighty eagle fills the space between road and productive earth. I see eagles glide high above me every so often, steering their movements alternately into warm and cool airflows with minimum twists of tail, head and wings. It's so melancholy to see one grounded, earthed, unmoving, sharp eye staring into the far distance of an eagle's afterlife, shedding its godly status amongst our refuse. This is what we leave behind us as human archaeology, this sedimentation of useless, nameless objects, obviously unloved and unloving. The irony is that all this cannot be seen from a vehicle. It can only be seen by whoever walks along the edge of the road, able to peer down into the dry moat that divides our refuse from our food. And so we drive on unknowing and uncaring, all the while filling it to overflowing with the empty containers of our endless consumption. I see them in the distance as the sun sparks and catches glints of the glass and plastic tossed overboard into no one's shallow sea. So much of it shatters and breaks, covers native grasses and shreds native animals' feet as they seek a small space between what we seek to possess and what we refuse to own. But my daughter calls right then, and my own life instantly subsumes this tiniest of insights, feeds itself again on unmindfulness and proceeds to join the endless queue that, single file, traces a well-trodden path to the splendid palace. Here in its central halls, the royal messenger is attempting to free himself from the throngs in order to be able to finally deliver to you, his most loyal servant, an urgent personal message from the dying emperor. but he will never be allowed to escape the rising tides of discarded objects that drown the world. Meanwhile, as the evening light falls over the far provinces, you sit at your window and dream of it. So I hope you pardon the paraphrasing of Franz Kafka's wonderful short account titled A Message from the Emperor, in which he prophesizes the incredible amount of waste that threatens to overwhelm us all over the planet. A Message from the Emperor was published in 1919, 101 years ago. "47th day, Wiggly flat to waikerie. What's this anger? Today I'm yelling at everything. I'm pinned up against the guardrail again, but this time there's no space on either side. And then a sandy track appears across the road. I go to cross it, but it soon ends abruptly at a farm gate, so I have to cross back, judging the speed of D-doubles as they roar towards me. Not easy. I can't walk freely ahead. So when I finally cross back, I yell at the road builders because they so skimped on the costs, leaving only 30 centimetres of rocky, impassable gravel between the edge of the asphalt and the interminable saltbush. I yell at the absence of side roads, the dirt tracks that follow the asphalted highways side by side. They make such good sense. Why aren't there any? I yell when I inadvertently kick the stick I picked up yesterday, taped the end of it with black masking tape and used it to replace my Italian still walking sticks that I'd forgotten in my van back in Mildura. And when I inadvertently kick the stick, I stumble, and so I yell loudly and wave both sticks around. Fortunately, no one sees me. They're heavy. And then I calm down. A sandy track has suddenly appeared on my side of the road, so now I can walk freely again. I get away from the trucks and I begin to think. And what do I think about? Walking. Walking more. Walking on. Walking ahead. Walking freely like Kafka's messenger, finally breaking through the assembled throng past the outer 7th palace and into the centre of the splendid city, dense with the accumulated lease of its past. But who might be you that in the evening dreams of the Emperor's message while sitting at their window somewhere in the far-off provinces? In the face of this question, the road disappears. Only the walking remains. So many questions arise with no answer, no clear answer. But it's good that the questions arise. Perhaps you could consider them as well and realize that there's no real answer. There's only the walking, which is a euphemism for being in whatever space you're in. Just continue to be, engaging with whatever we engage with, being present to each moment. Until tomorrow.